and I'll keep an eye on the clock for you guys as well.
Perfect.
All right, and if you guys are ready, we'll go in three, two.
What's happening, diggets and diggeteers? Welcome to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the Soulful Way on 93.7 The Ticket. Text in the show at Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685 and the live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable channel 961. Our first segment is sponsored by Nebraska Knockerball. Nebraska Knockerball LLC is the premier party destination that specializes in hosting a variety of fun and engaging events. Whether you're planning a birthday party, a corporate team outing, or a company team building event, Nebraska Knockerball provides a unique and entertaining atmosphere. With a focus on fun and teamwork, they create memorable experiences for groups of all sizes. Unleash your inner warrior and let the good times roll at Nebraska Knockerball. Check out www.nebraskanockerball.com or give them a call at 402-460-8724 to find out more information. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, Chubb, with Soulful Cocina, and I want you to welcome our very special guest, Brad, with Red Link Barbecue. Brad, how you doing, bud?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for coming on the show. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, originally from Minnesota, born and raised there. Come from pretty entrepreneurial family. My mom was in the corporate game for a long time. She ran a large candy business. My dad was a blue collar worker. We had a trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
So, you had kind of get the best of both worlds, running a business and being in the corporate world. I went to college, two-sport athlete, played football and baseball. Had a career outside of that. In baseball was short-lived, and then went into the corporate world. So yeah, then worked for Major League Baseball for a little bit in the analytics division, and then decided to be after my parents started their restaurant up in Minnesota in barbecue, just decided I wanted to continue to do it. So that's where we're at today.
Right on, right on. Well, speaking of baseball, I take it you're a baseball fan?
Yes, sir.
Dodgers or Yankees?
Oh, that's good. That's a close one. Have friends on both sides. I think the Dodgers probably have more firepower, I guess.
There you go. That's
overall. So
I'm an Angels fan, but I mean, if I gotta go for a team, I'm going for home because I'm from Los Angeles.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go for them. So man, how'd you? So your parents have a barbecue?
Yep.
Restaurant?
So they had a barbecue restaurant on up in Minnesota called On Q Barbecue. We did a little bit of everything. We did whole hog. We did your ribs, your brisket, stuff like that. A lot of catering events, and then having the restaurant.
So is that where you found your passion?
Oh yeah. So doing that and growing up in it, having my dad show me and the people that were around him in his life, just doing it on an everyday basis, helping out with the family stuff. So we got to see the restaurant side of things every day. We got to see building up a restaurant. We built it from the ground up. So that was kind of exciting to see from start to finish and see it come to fruition.
That's right. Well, so then when did you move out to Lincoln?
So I moved out here about a year and a half ago. I've been in Nebraska for about 6 years. I was living up in Columbus, working for a company there called BD Medical. We make syringes. I was a process engineer there. When my parents decided to retire and sell the restaurant, I got the itch not wanting to have barbecue be done instead of making it a business.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make it a gig and have a food truck because the food truck thing was new to us instead of outside the restaurant. So started that while I worked full time to kind of get it off the ground.
Oh, I know. What was it? Last year we was involved in a food truck battle. I think there was about eight,
Yep.
9 trucks.
Yep.
And you got the trophy.
Yes, sir.
And that was based on people trying. Was it samples? I forgot.
Yep.
How it
So
worked.
we had to submit 3 different menu items, and it was all customer based and customer voted. So we ended up coming out on top.
Well, congratulations again on that, man. Red Link Barbecue. How'd you come up with that name?
So it was funny because when we started the food truck, didn't know I'm not a big name or branding person, so that's not my specialty. I have a great core of family members that are in corporate America. My uncle works for 3M and is senior executive there. So we were around actually in Harrisburg, South Dakota at Harrisburg days when I was talking to my uncle, figuring out a name for the food truck, something that would be locally tied and to Lincoln, and because that's where I wanted to establish the food truck. And so we came up with what's common in Nebraska football. So in Nebraska, the university. So what color is red and white? So I like red. So we picked red, and then we should settled on Link, short for Lincoln. So Red Link
Right.
Barbecue, make it easy for everybody to remember.
That's a trip how names come about and logos,
Yep.
I sat and, so like the orange and red, that they say that orange and red and yellow kind of freaks your mind and makes you hungry.
Yep.
So I got
Yes,
that.
sir.
And then I came up with that pig kind of to resemble me, as you could tell, with like the gray beard and all that. And we serve soul food, and my wife's Hispanic. So I kind of incorporated the cocina into that because
Yep.
we feature
Mhm.
every now and then we have
Yep.
authentic Mexican food. So it came soulful cocina.
Yep.
And a lot of people was like, well, I don't know where you're going with that. I don't know. But I mean, I think the name just rings soulful kitchen. So I mean, it's pretty much cocina's kitchen. So soulful kitchen.
Mhm.
So it's just a trip how names come about, man. And they're unique in their own way.
Yes, and I want it, and my family's very big into having community atmosphere.
Mhm.
So naming something after community, people take pride in their communities. No different here than anywhere else. Especially, I grew up in a small town, so it really, growing up, it takes a village to raise a family.
Mhm.
Not only with my parents being as busy as they were growing up, I had a lot of great people around me that were helping me help raise me and
Yeah.
whatever. So I take that to heart.
Yeah. And one thing about this food truck community is we're like a small village. We
Yes.
look out for one another. And that's the thing. I was saying I have Brad from Red Link Barbecue, and they was like, well, why are you gonna have competition on the show? It's not competition, man. It's
friends, basically
yeah.
friends, it's acquaintances, and I've always said there's a lot of business in Lincoln, and I like sharing that because we're all busy, and if somebody calls us and we have that great relationship with people, we could spread that
Exactly.
joy and spread that great food. Because to me, having great food trucks, a lot of great food comes out of food trucks that
Exactly.
people don't realize. You get I need the stigma of sitting down in a sit down restaurant to have great food. That's
Mhm.
not necessarily the case now. Like with the modern times, the way we live in, food trucks are a big thing, and they got shows like Food Trucks Across America now that are putting that in the forefront, that you can get great food, and there's great chefs on these trucks that put out amazing food every day.
Exactly. And honestly, I'd rather eat from a food truck than a major establishment. I mean, I'm sure the barbecue that they get off your truck, off
Yep.
my truck, is way better than some of these corporate,
Yep.
companies that are out there. I ain't gonna say no name, but Famous Dave, you ever heard of that guy?
Yep.
I'm sure we blow them out the water. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
And but like these in California, they used to call them roach coaches and stuff, but they would come up to like the buildings and when we was at work and honk the horns and honk 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 honk
Yep.
honk honk
Yep.
honk, and you go out there, the best food ever, man. So I love my food truck. It's not going nowhere. I like to say I have a food truck with a restaurant, not a
Yep.
restaurant with a food
Yep.
truck.
And the thing is with that is I like, and just like any food truck owner and business owner, you want to make money, but you want to spread good food. And I always tell the people that are around us, you can go to McDonald's, you can go to go to like Burger King. You're not getting good quality food.
Mhm.
And we're still, as a food truck, we're pricing it just as good, if not better, than a lot of these mainstream food companies. And we just don't have the marketing behind us. And
Right.
it's getting our names out there. It's having great relationships with different food trucks. It's spreading that joy in food that makes things great in the community.
And that's the purpose of this show, is to give people a platform to kind of be heard, because I'm sure there's still a ton of people in Lincoln that hasn't heard of Sofa Cocina, haven't heard of Red
Yep.
Link Barbecue, haven't heard of Mary Ellen's and stuff. So I
Yep.
want everybody on here, so that way we can reach somebody, and then they can be like, well, hey, they had Red Link, let's go check them
Yep.
out. And then from Red Link, they can go check out other people. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing
So-
too. I talk about when I talk to people, even like the event we did last night. I talk to countless people and be like, "Hey, you guys need to try this food truck, or this food truck's out there." Now, I'm like, check their Facebook page to see where they're at, because they're putting out amazing food every day.
Mhm. Yeah. And so now in your establishment, your trucks, which I want to bring up something, speaking of trucks, you have another truck
Yep.
that's going to be coming out here shortly,
So
right? Probably by next year.
Yep. So we got some fantastic news. We kind of shared a little bit of a sneak peek on our Facebook page, but we acquired another gentleman's food truck business that's retiring. He worked on the railroad for BNSF for a long time, so we acquired his food trailer, and we're going to expand. And my parents are going to be coming back up to help a little bit of that. I call them the OGs. My dad is
Mhm.
in the barbecue, so they're going to come up and make an appearance this next year. And then we also acquired his barbecue sauce line. That's already in. We're finalizing that in November. But yeah, we're starting to get that. We're already in stores. So it's called Fat Ferg's Barbecue Sauce. So it's already in Super Savers, Hy-Vees, Russ's. We're at Baker's Candy. So we're going to expand that. We're trying to make that a national market.
I'm trying. Congratulations on that, man. That's huge. And I'm gonna have to check it out. I never heard of them,
Yep.
honestly, but there's so many barbecue
Yep.
things out there. Somebody came to my spot and they tried it and they was like, "This is good. It kind of tastes like Grandma Foster's."
Yep.
Is this Grandma Foster's? And I was like, I ain't never heard of no Grandma Foster's. And now that it's on my mind, you go to the stores and you see it. So I'm sure you call it, what is it called? Fat Ferg?
Fat Ferg's Barbecue
Fat
Sauce.
Ferg. So I'm sure now that it's on my mind, I'll be looking or
Yep.
whatever and see the Heinz, and next to it, I'll be
Yep.
Fat Ferg's. And I'll be like, that's what he was talking about.
And there's 4 different brands. We got a original, we got a sweet mild, we got a hot and wild, and a zesty mustard.
Oh, okay.
And Jeff did a lot of hard work getting that going. He's won countless awards with those barbecue sauces, and I'm just happy, again, having a local business and keeping that name going. So we're not going to change the name. We're just going to run it as is and run it and try to make it get bigger.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, absolutely not. I agree.
Fix it. You already got a name by that. You
True.
might change it and then go downhill because nobody heard of Slim Days or whatever.
Yep.
So, but yeah, man, congratulations. Now that zesty mustard, is that like Carolina?
So
Carolina
it's
style?
it's kind of a mix. So we tasted all of them before when he had brought it up to me, and it's kind of a mix between like a Kansas City, Memphis style mustard, but then with a Carolina style. So it's great. You got a little kick down the end of it. So people that love mustard based stuff, it's a great sauce.
I love that, man, especially with that little kick. Nothing too major, but it's got that little zing or whatever. Now, what do you specialize in your truck? Like me, like a lot of people have brisket. Everybody and their mom has brisket on their menu. That's a barbecue place, except for me. I do tri-tip.
Yep.
And that's California. I grew up doing that. That's like I can cook that with my eyes closed. So what do you
specialize in? Our specialty, we kind of do like the Midwest style. So the Midwest style of barbecue, not really Kansas City. I would say it's a mix between Kansas City and Texas style barbecue, but we do more of the comfort food. So we have our great sides, our cheesy hash browns. We do the normal barbecue stuff like our beans and mac and cheese, stuff like that. But we have a rotating schedule and a rotating menu. So it goes depending on when we put that on Facebook, what we're going to have, or if we do a certain event that we cater to that different demographic. But we normally do a brisket, like you said. We do baby back ribs. We do our pulled pork, and we do a pulled chicken. And a lot of people, it's hard for chicken because it's hard to keep moist.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people want the white, and I always tell them use dark.
Yep.
Because dark, we can keep it moist for a lot longer than we can. So I had to buy these warmers and put in my truck because I was keeping them in the steam tables.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And that steam, man, after about 2 hours, it'll start drying up everything.
Yep.
So I keep them in these warmers, and then I just take out as I need. But a lot of people want shredded white chicken, and I was like, I can do it, but it's not going to be good. Or they want us to cook fries, and I was like, I can bring it, but they're not going to be good in an hour. I mean, they'll be soggy, they'll be tasteful, but I mean, they're going to be, how that goes.
Yep. And that's we have the same setup too. We have the steam tables, we have the warmers in there to make sure everything's at food temperature. And I like everything. I want everything hot all the time. So that's always been my thing. And like even quality wise, it keeps everything nice and moist and keeps everything nice and hot. So
now, your recipes, are those mom and dad's recipes, and you're just carrying them, or do you have your own stuff? Like,
it's a little bit of both. A lot of it comes from our family trial and error, a lot of stuff. So barbecue in general was a lot of trial and error for my parents and ourselves, me and my little brother. But a lot of it is I do mix and match some stuff here and there. So yeah, we're constantly growing.
No, what got so whose idea was it to start barbecue, mom or dad?
My dad. So it was my dad's hobby.
Oh, really? So I mean, he did that
Yep.
before and just said, okay, I'm gonna take my hobby and
So it started with my dad. People want my dad to do different events. So they'd want my dad to do catering for a graduation or a wedding or whatever. Well, then it got so big that my mom and dad basically said, well, let's just make this a business and make it legit. So
Mhm.
with the health inspection and all that stuff.
Right.
So we didn't have a kitchen. We bought this building in Minnesota and basically put it on the tax roll. Got it super cheap, and we built it literally from the ground up. So going to different auctions, buying stuff online from web restaurant and stuff like that, just to get everything. And I'm from Minnesota, so the health codes up there are really crazy.
Mhm.
And when you have to have certain blueprints,
Like crazier than here?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And having set that precedence up there, it kind of carried me down here. So it's funny when we got the food truck inspected when we first started, we brought it down, and the food inspector and health inspector was very impressed with how we had everything set up already. I'm like, well, we're from Minnesota. We have to have that
Mhm.
because this is the way we have to run things, or we won't be able to run at all.
Now, what part of Minnesota? Minneapolis is the place I want to go to. Paisley Park.
Oh,
in
yep.
Princess Studios.
Yep. So I'm originally from Southwest Minnesota. So we're right on the Minnesota-Iowa border, about 30 minutes from Okoboji. So
Oh, okay.
I lived on that water growing up. So I have family down there, and
My
so,
daughter's always at that lake.
yeah. So yeah, I have a bunch of family friends that own the marina down there, and so yeah, we just kind of grew up on that lake.
Right on, man. So now your dad, do they do brisket in Minnesota, or is there a certain style like that's out there?
Yep. So kind of the same thing. With a restaurant, you can do a lot more than in a food truck because you got to carry all that stuff. So we had different variations of stuff. We did roasted chicken up there, and so we had a lot more variety. Now, when we cater, so catering is kind of our niche. The food truck's very new to us, so we do a wide variety of stuff in the catering world. So we do double smoked hams. We could do like oven roasted chicken, stuff like that.
So what kind of smoker do
So
you have?
so we have a little bit of everything down here. So I got a big rotisserie that's on a trailer.
Okay.
So that's kind
Southern
of
Pride?
Yeah. No, so actually it's made from a guy in Kansas City.
Okay.
So he was on the barbecue circuit. So that's kind of our way of doing things. You don't have to have big logs, but you can do smaller stick stuff so you can kind of maintain it a little better.
Yeah, and that's what I like, man. When I first started 4 years ago, I had just a little stick burner, little Oklahoma Joe's, and after about 2 days, I'd be irritated and tired because I was up so much, like babysitting it.
Yep.
Now, I ran into a friend, and he connected me, put me on game with this. It's called Heartland Cookers, and they're out in Sykeston, Missouri.
Okay.
And so I got a Heartland cooker, so I could turn that mug on right now, put the lock on it, and go home for 2 or 3 days, and just let it cook slow. And it's gonna blow that fire when it needs to come on or whatever, and it's gonna turn it off when it needs to. And it's just saved me a lot of. It was a expensive grill, but it pays for itself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That thing runs non-stop, and it's a rotisserie. I love it. I love it.
And I grew up and raised by my dad doing the old school way of babysitting it, but it's more of the community based around it because usually when you fire up the smoker, everybody comes. So it's get to talk to people, and it's almost a talking piece because they're like everybody's wanting what you got on and how you could smell it.
And then they start talking about how they barbecue, and so I have a 50-gallon. My first smoker, my kids bought me. It was about 20 years ago, and it's a 50-gallon drum, and it had a 30-gallon piggyback up on top. So like it didn't really get hot, maybe 130, 140, but that was more smoke. So you put your brisket up there, you can let it smoke for a while and then bring it down on the heat. But now that's one that I'll babysit because we do like parties. So like 4th of July, I'm out there all day. I could babysit it, but I don't want to get up at 2 o'clock to make sure that we're at 250. And then if it's down or too high, then I got to sit there and cut off the oxygen and either bring it down or sit there and put more fuel in there to get it hotter and stuff. So that was just too much, man. But I mean, we got the job done. But I mean, you learn, and I thought I was going to have one of those forever, but nah.
And the thing is, it's great with technology coming out, how things are going in the barbecue game and the different people around, how like the M&M barbecues down in Texas, how they're the smokers they're making. It's very interesting where you can start doing that. You can put 800 pounds of meat on and walk away, and you can go about your daily life, where the old school way of doing things, you have to sit there for 14, 15 hours doing a brisket, potentially, depending on the stall pattern. But it's still, I'm not there yet. I'm hoping to get there at some point, but I still like I like the community factor when people stop by. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's that old school stuff. So like Tyler with Norms,
yep.
that big tank.
Yep.
Like I love that thing. I like to go by there, man, when he's there, and I just stare at it. And I was just like, I like cooking on stuff like that, but that's when I can maintain it all day. But I'm just so busy now with the restaurant. I got employees. I got to go get food.
Yep.
I just don't have time to go sit outside and check temperature all day.
And that's the thing too. In the barbecue game, you don't sleep.
Yeah.
So I don't. My sleep schedule is very awkward compared to a normal person, but I enjoy it, and that's what helps. When you enjoy something, my parents always told me, when you truly enjoy something, it makes it easier.
Yeah. Because you go to work doing what you don't want and you dread it all day.
Absolutely.
But like I get up, man, and I don't care what my problem is. There could be a death in the family. Yeah, I'm sad, but the minute I turn on my music and get to cooking, that goes away for a minute. So
You're
that's kind of
right.
like my therapy, if you will. And people ask like, okay, well, where'd you learn how to cook? And I honestly believe God gives every single individual on this planet a talent, and mine was cooking.
Yep.
My brother, he's just got that business mind in football. So he's just dope. Yours, I'm assuming is I don't really know, but I would assume it's cooking.
It's truly very similar to what you just said. My little brother is definitely business oriented, like my mother. And I get a lot from my father doing the hands-on work stuff. And it goes by, it truly is. You don't understand you have a gift, or you don't understand what your true calling is until it almost hits you in the face.
Yeah.
Or God gives you a feeling, like when my feeling came when I realized that my parents were truly, when it set in that they were selling the restaurant, knowing that I didn't want to give that up. Like, I can do it on the side, but I like doing it for large gatherings and large groups of people. So it was like, I don't want to get rid of that. Like,
right.
We worked hard for that name, and we worked hard for those recipes. We worked hard to set those up to spread the joy of food. So that's why it was a hard determining factor to start that food truck. It was a new experience for us, for everybody in my family, to start doing that. But then when you learn on the fly, but have those great recipes backing you up, knowing they're tried and true, and knowing that people will enjoy them, that takes a lot of stress off you. Knowing that you know how to do it, you know how to put great food out, and then you're learning with the food truck on the fly.
Yeah, and that's how we was. So the first couple of days we went in there and we just did it. We're like, okay, we're going to do it. I never had a food truck or nothing, so we did it. And then after that, you start learning how to make everything work simple, just like in the restaurant. The first day we had a grand opening, there was lines out the door from the time we opened to the time we sold out of our last piece of chicken, and it was hectic. So we sat down and had a powwow, and we was like, okay, well, we need to move this over here. We need to put this right here. And that was almost 2 years ago, and it's the way it is now. And it works perfect. So, you learn as you go on the fly.
Yeah. And having the background and my mom's side being in the candy business, manufacturing is a big thing, right? So you got to streamline everything to make it profitable. So I take that knowledge in knowing, okay, in a food truck, you got to set it up like assembly line or like a catering venue. Yeah. The goal is to get everybody through so they don't have to wait.
Yeah.
So we set up the food truck that way too. And like you said, it's, you have those minor instances where you move things around in the truck to make it more streamlined. But once you get it down, you can serve a lot of people in a short period of time.
Exactly. But you have to have that, like you said, the line,
the knowledge.
So you have to have everything in order or whatever. So like we have our refrigerator, we have our steam tables, and then there's a little counter space, and then there's a window. Well, my wife wanted that to be the order window, and I was like, no, the order window needs to go on the other side of the truck because this is where the food is. So we could just slide it out and put it out this window, rather than you taking orders. We get it now. We got to walk behind you and go over here. Don't work. And
that's what kind of like we have our setup. So we have this. So we have the order window and then the pickup window. So it kind of keeps everything unorganized, or keeps everything organized that way. So we have the fridge, so we keep all of our drinks in, so we can hand those out right away when they order. Then the food gets made with the buns and right there, and then out the window it goes.
Right on. All right, folks, we got to pay some bills. You stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session, and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more, all at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant. 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. Touchdown! This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Chubb, the Soulful Way on 93.7 The Ticket. Text in the show at Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 and a live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable Channel 961. The second segment is brought to you by HealthLink. HealthLink offers one-on-one coaching with personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. Nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Brad, when we went to break, was in a conversation and stuff, and so you said that your mom did candy, right? Is that what you're saying, candy?
Yep.
So what kind of she made her own candy?
No, so my mom worked for a large candy business. So now and later's Brock's chocolates, Bob's Sweet Stripe mints, Trolley gummy products. So the headquarters was actually in the small town of Round Lake, Minnesota, is where I grew up.
Okay.
So my mom was the marketing director and VP of that company, and she worked there for 35 years. Helped the family start it from the ground, get it to a national brand, and having the family take her in and kind of like help give her the trust to help run things the way she did. It was great knowing and growing up in that. So I was a candy kid growing up. So
man, your family has some titles behind their names.
Yep.
So the food truck should come easy. Like as far as the cooking, you get that from your dad,
Yep.
and then the marketing and all that and stuff from like your brother. And then you get the business from mom. So I mean, you came in here lucky, man, because I knew the cooking and didn't know nothing about the business. I learned that as I was going. I'm still learning it.
I'm a firm belief, and my parents instilled this into me and my little brother, is you'll never stop learning because you'll never know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you always ask questions if you don't know, because I'm always a person. If you don't know, fine. You have resources, find it.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. Like I'm call my parents almost every day, asking them questions and what would they do, because it's good to have that knowledge and somebody else's perspective, because I know I'm not perfect, and my view of things could be vastly different than what it should be. And having that knowledge of years and years of knowledge behind you is great. I'm very grateful and very blessed.
Yeah, man. I believe that a closed mouth don't get fed. So if you don't ask a question, you'll remain clueless on something you don't know about. So always asking. A lot of people's like, well, it's a dumb question. Ain't no question, dumb question. I mean, you just don't know. So
and if you never experienced it, you don't know. You don't know if you don't know.
Yeah. So you got any like major events coming up that anybody should know about?
So we do the Husker games downtown. So that's kind of our big thing. So we obviously not the bye week, the away game this week, but next week against UCLA, we'll be downtown in the rail yard. Kind of like we've been doing that all year and continue to do that. Other than that, it's getting kind of slower. It's kind of we're with the barbecue sauce line coming in now, so kind of shift that focus on that and catering. Trying to get the stores full for the holiday season with the barbecue sauces. So that's kind of the shift in mindset right now.
Now you don't have to learn a lot about that. Keep up with all these stores. Now, are you guys only in Lincoln?
Yep. So Jeff had it when at the height of it, when he had it. He was in all the way as far west as Kearney, all the way in Omaha stores in Council Bluff, and all the way up north to Sioux City area. Okay. So I'm hoping to get back to that and expand it even more. So having people like my mother and my uncle Trent that had been in the corporate game of branding and understanding that kind of thing, asking those questions to make sure we're not making the mistakes that other people have made and not have to avoid something super costly.
So like now when you cook, like your do you just use like salt and pepper, or do you have a rub?
So, yep, we have a rub. So that's a family recipe, both for our briskets and for our pork butts. Our chickens that way too. A lot of trial and error goes into that, just like anything cooking, to perfect or closely to perfect it as possible. But yeah, we use those. We don't have those bottled yet, but once I get in the barbecue sauce game and understand how that all works, then potentially down the road we'll probably do that under the Red Link banner.
So you just answered my next question. I was going to ask: is there any plans to have it bottled up?
Yep.
I talked to a place. I'm working with a place, and it's just hard. It's hard for them to match up the stuff that I'm using. And get it to that right, to make big batches. So they're working on that now.
And finding co-packers too, like with the sauces, we're going to be bottling those in our kitchen. So I share it with Bernanelli's Angie. So we'll be bottling it there and going through that whole process. But like to the point where once we get maxed out, finding a co-packer and already having conversations in the background and that with my family, finding that ingredient label, because they won't, when you go to a co-packer, just because how you make it is not how they're going to do it.
Exactly.
Because it might not taste the same. And going through that whole process there.
Exactly. Because they're we should add a little bit of this, and I was like, no, we shouldn't. That's mine. And I want it to be the way I want. I don't want another dash of salt. We'll put exactly, and it's just hard to get that big quantity like that because I only make so much. Or whatever. So
and it's hard even with rubs too. Just even anything manufacturing related, it's shelf life, and you don't want to put something that doesn't have a great shelf life on there. So that's why with the barbecue sauce, we have a really great shelf life. That was kind of a really big factor in me. It was not only the taste but the shelf life, and having something like that, it was almost a no brainer.
And now you mentioned Vernonelli's. You share the kitchen with them?
Yep.
Okay. Now couple years ago, right before they was trying to get it, I was looking at that spot. But it didn't have what I needed. If I remember, they didn't have a hood. And
a lot of stuff for barbecue we don't need, so we don't do fries or anything like that.
So we do fries, fried chicken, catfish. We fried pork chops, so I needed the hood and stuff. So that didn't work out. But when I found out that they got it, I was happy because we all kind of started around the same time, and just to see people advance and move on and stuff, and they're doing really good over there.
And I always find joy in like you and like Jordan at Berea Boss and Nick at Muchachos, like going from a food truck to a brick and mortar, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of not only prayer but like a lot of effort and like a lot of hope in that it's gonna go well, because you go from a food truck where you can move everywhere to being a standstill where you have to have the customers come in
and
make it work.
Biggest headache ever, because then you got more overhead, you got employees. I got good employees. I can't say nothing bad about them. I love them, but they get on my nerves sometimes, and I'm sure I get on their nerves. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, man. If somebody would have showed me a crystal ball and said, this is what you're going to go through, I probably would have tried to invest in another food truck and leave the restaurant. Because it's totally different.
It's funny because me and my mom and dad just had a conversation, and it's been kind of an ongoing conversation since we started. And my dad says the same thing. He goes, I would have probably done a food truck more than another restaurant. He goes, not only it's a lot of stress, but just like you get to go where the people are. And it really reiterates that when we do like bigger events, like you get to see all the people out. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's a Husker game or like a church event or whatever. It's instead of sitting there and hoping that you have a good day in the restaurant and people come in, but unless you're a big corporation, it's hard because you don't have that marketing behind you.
Right.
And we're doing it, a lot of it, like yourself, we're doing it on our own. We're marketing on our own and the best way we can.
Yeah. Now I wish I had all those thousands of dollars to get all this marketing stuff. But you know what? The best marketing is word of mouth, and we're growing. I'm not where I want to be. But I'm nowhere near where I was. So, I like to say I'm like right in the middle of the ladder looking up. So I'm moving up. But a lot of people come in and we hear a lot of good things. I was referred to you by SETI down the street, whatever. Or we was at my friend's one day and they started laughing. They said, check out this video. And then it was you dancing.
Yep.
We had to come in and check it out and stuff. So I try to be different, you know, like
Mhm.
I'm in this ERN group and they was like, well, what sets you apart? And I was like, cause I'm different. I'm authentically me. I
Mhm.
get out there and dance and I don't care if people think I'm funny, silly, crazy, whatever. I just do me, man. And that's what I do. I'm constantly dancing. Like I said, that music comes on and then stoves get lit. The grill gets lit. Dude, I turn into I like to say a Chef Opticon, you know, like
Yeah,
I'm one of the Transformers, dude. I just transform into something and I'm like in my own zone and
Yep.
like just move out of the way. Like everybody knows their duties or whatever. And we move like a well-geared machine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I love it.
It's good too because it like you said earlier, it's a very when you go into the kitchen or around the smoker, it's stress relief.
Mhm.
And no matter how many things are going through your mind or what you're going through at that day, when you're smoking or cooking, you are focused on that.
Yeah.
It kind of takes your mind off of things.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a stress reliever until you go out there and you have your pork butts on all night, and then you go out there and you arrive the next day,
Yep.
and then the pork butt shrunk and it shifted that rotisserie and it got
Yep.
jammed up in there. So now you burnt out a motor.
Yep.
I think I burnt out in the last 2 years. I'd say 8 motors
Ooh.
or whatever, and a lot of them now I have to pay for them.
Yep.
So because
Yep.
they're all out of warranty
Yep.
or whatever, and so I told the crew now whenever we leave them on overnight, just on the rotisserie, just
Yep.
bring them up to the middle and stop them in the middle or
Mhm.
whatever. Don't let them because sometimes those pork butts they shrink down
Yep.
and the weight shifts.
Where-
So
yep.
those rotisseries
Yep.
either go forward or and they jam.
Yep.
That's not good.
And that's great with the guy that built ours down in Kansas City area. They have locking mechanisms on them, so I can lock them and they don't move.
Really?
Yep. So that was kind of the selling point on those. So we had this kind of the same one up in Minnesota. So it was kind of nice. So we could lock them. So when they do like the brisket shrink or the pork butt shrink, that they don't sway. And for instance, so that's why we like using ours.
So I need to come check yours out and get an idea and see if I can like Mickey Mouse mine.
Yep.
Because they sway and like they was like, well, go get some stainless steel or whatever and just tack down the meat. Well, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That I gotta all these pork butts. So now I gotta take
Yep.
pliers and twist the wire together to keep it up there and stuff, which that might work, but if it shifts, it's not the meat falling
No.
off, it's just the shifting
Yep.
or whatever. And so if that thing turns like this and it's trying to go down, now it's jammed
Yep.
or whatever. So I need to look at that locking.
Yeah.
Like I never thought of that.
And I just saw like you talk about growing. I would it's like Tyler at Norms 48. They're getting new smokers, and I'm
Yeah.
curious to see. I want to go over there and watch how he does those work because it's always interesting how different smokers come out. And not only because we go through a lot of wood, right?
Mhm.
So we do hardwood and we use apple wood. So
Apple only?
Apple only.
Okay.
We only use apple wood. Kind of like that's what our family's always done.
Okay.
So it's interesting because you got to make sure what's readily available, right? We come from which not too far in Nebraska City, where hundreds of acres of orchards down there.
Mhm.
So in finding stuff like that, it's readily available around here. So
I mean,
that's why we use applewood.
I use ash and mulberry.
Okay.
And I used to use pecan and hickory.
Mhm.
And the way I came with ash and mulberry was we had a pool put in, and so the neighbor had one tree that I guess kept dropping those seeds or whatever, and so there was like 8 or 9 trees
Yep.
like in this one big thing, and they would grow over the gate. So we trimmed those down, and I was just having that for firewood. In the front yard, we had an ash tree. So like
Mhm.
sticks or whatever, or when we'd have them cut down like limbs and stuff, I would have it for firewood.
Yep.
Well, one day I was out of my wood to smoke some ribs, so I was like, "Get this," and we tried it, and it's like the flavor that just
Yep.
mixed or whatever. And I was like, "This is what I'm using from here on out." A lot of people are mulberry and ash, and I was like, "Mulberry and ash."
Yep.
It's real subtle smoke, but it's
Yep.
good.
And with that citrus too, it helps.
Mhm.
It's not so overly overpowerful. And that's where I kind of like you go to like Mesquite down there, like Arizona and that area where it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And you go in like Texas, you got post oak and stuff like that. So that's like the old way, and that's how barbecue started was use what you have available in your area.
Yeah. Now Joe with Canyon Joe's. Have you been there?
Yeah.
So they got the M&M
Yep.
smokers,
Yep.
just like
Yep.
Tyler's going to get. Well, I think Tyler's going to be different.
Yeah.
His picture looked like they was
Yeah,
more
so
narrower, more
Joe's
tall.
is more elongated. Tyler's is gonna be more like the box style. So
Yeah, and he's getting 2 of those, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna be pumping out.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah, and I'm just happy. Like we could put a lot of weight on ours too if we need to. So that's we're there, but we're not that there yet. So
yeah. And I'd like to have like just a big old barbecue one day, like just rent a park, man. And have all of us down there, just everybody out there cooking and having a good time, like having a DJ, people come, families, play games and stuff. That'd be awesome, man. And just get a bunch of the different restaurants and stuff out here. But folks, we need to go pay some bills real quick. We will return after these messages. We'll see you in a minute.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank. Now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska, we're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping. Thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
Oh, right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Chubb the Sofa Way on 93.7 The Ticket. Text in the show at Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 and a live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable Channel 961. This final segment is presented by Coalition Restoration in Lincoln. Coalition Restoration works with all hail damage, commercial, and residential roofing, in addition to those pesky insurance companies. Give them a call today for a free assessment at 402-416-8186 or visit them online at coalitionrestoration.com. Brad, so you mentioned earlier that you do catering and stuff. So do you do big like events, or do you try to keep it small? Or
so catering is kind of what I was kind of into or born into, I guess, raised in. So we do everything. We can do small, we can do very large. Biggest one we've done is probably about 600.
Okay.
We do small corporate ones, 20, 15, 20, 25 people.
Yeah.
So we do everything in between. And that's the best thing about that, because you could streamline that pretty easy. So, and basing people's menu on what they're looking for and what their prices are very, very nice to talk, just to get to know people, what they're wanting.
Right on. So for the people who don't know, do you want to give them some contact information?
Yeah.
Facebook, whatever.
Yeah. So we're at Red Link Barbecue on Facebook or in Instagram, www.redlinkbarbecue.com on the World Wide Web. We have a TikTok too. And then Fatford barbecue sauces you can find in Hy-Vee, Super Saver, and Russ's in Lincoln.
And, just for you, those of you who don't know, it's capital RED, capital LINC. That's Red Link, LINC. Yep. All right. And so did you give a website?
Oh,
you got a website?
So we got the website. If you guys want to contact us, it's redlinkbarbecue@gmail.com, or my phone number is 507-360-8210.
And if you ever are in the streets and you see him, pull over and get this guy's food. It's really good. Now, I think I asked you, but if you want to repeat, do you have any like functions where you're set up the next couple of days?
Yeah. So we're kind of taking the week off to kind of get things figured out, but then we'll be at the Husker game. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. But we'll be at Urban Hound on Sunday after the Husker game, and then we'll be at Schrock Medical on Friday.
Now you usually park right in front of the rail yard, right?
Yep, right in front of the rail yard, right in front of the Cube.
Gate 25. Gate 25. All right. And Brandon's in charge of that still, right? Okay.
Yep.
Now, do they plan on having any more battles or anything that you know of?
Not that I've aware of. That it's more like in the summertime that they do all that stuff. So it probably coming up next year. We'll have more events coming up that way.
All right. Well, Brad, when we end our show, man, I like to give our guests an opportunity to get some shout outs. A lot of times they don't get to thank people like they should or whatever. So if you want to take this time to get some shout outs, man.
Yeah, I just like to shout out my family for all the help. My girlfriend and her family for helping me get everything off the ground here in Lincoln. Like I've always said, it always takes a village, especially when you're starting something new. So it's great to have those people around you, because I grew up in a family atmosphere where family helps with the business, and having a family like that, it's fantastic.
And having a big family works, because I thank God for my family. There's so much, not only ones that help, but like they came in there when we was remodeling the restaurant. There was hands of all families that put something. So I owe them my life, because if it wasn't for them, I'd probably still be working in there, because that was an old building. We're over on Havelock, so that was probably older than my grandparents. And you uncover one wound and there's just so many band-aids under that, and so you take off one band-aid, there's another one. And so my family got together, man, long days, long nights. But folks, this is the end of our show. I want you to come by and check me out at Soulful Casino. We're located at 6105 Havelock, and our food is so good and make your tongue slap your brains out. You dig?